Hi, this is James from Mad Science Films, and today we're going to be looking at a couple of lenses I've recently bought. So, yes, it's probably true to say I have an addiction to to buying gear. I try to justify a lot of the gear that I buy, and a lot of the gear I do buy is justified. But lenses in particular, I just can't get enough of them. I do buy a lot of old vintage lenses. They are a lot cheaper than the modern lenses, and they produce good quality. So it's very addictive to spend hours searching eBay in search of really good lenses for a really good price. Also, lenses are very important to getting a really good image, and I haven't got a set which I'm happy with, a set of lenses that give the same quality and have different focal lengths that would be needed for a shoot. So I am in the middle of acquiring lenses to build a decent set for filmmaking. Now I could go and buy, there are loads of Cine lenses out there which I could purchase. The higher end ones are very expensive, as I'm sure many of you have come across yourselves. So the options are, and a lot of people doing it, to buy old quality glass and then Cine mod them. So you take an old photo stills lens and then you would modify the lens to work as a cinema camera, to work as a Cine lens. And that usually means declicking the aperture, then dampening the aperture ring, also putting gears on the aperture ring and the focus ring too, modifying the front thread of the lens so you unify the front of all your lenses in the collection. That makes it easier for swapping in and out all different types of filters, also put it onto a matte box. So before you even think about Cine modding lenses, you need to find lenses which you want to Cine mod. And there are a number of potential lenses out there which you could do that with. Now, the Canon FD glass, it's there's a lot of really good Canon FD lenses out there. You got the old Canon FD-L lenses, like the 85 1.2. That's about £600 for that lens, even though it's a good few decades old. But it does produce very good quality. Of course, 1.2 is it's a very fast lens. But they do have the 2.8 versions of those lenses too, and they're about £200 a pop. Quality is good, I think, through all the apertures, and they are easy to find, also easy to modify. But the only thing that put me off them was mounting them, adapting them. And you couldn't really use them with the speed booster because of flange distance between sensor and the back of the lens. I think that would cause issues. So that kind of put me off getting the Canon FDs. Another possibility would be the auto Chinon or Chinon lenses. They're very cheap. They're probably the cheapest ones you can get. Overall, optically, they're good. They're not as good as the Canon FDs, but they are good. They're very affordable and easy to adapt as well. And also you can Cine mod those lenses too. But the ones I come across, and there was a YouTube video I saw about them, was the Contax Zeiss lenses. And these were lenses that were manufactured in the 70s, manufactured alongside the Zeiss Super Speed lenses, Cine lenses. Now these lenses were used by Kubrick for films like The Shining, also films like Full Metal Jacket. So very, very high end, really good optically. And I was interested to read and find on YouTube that people were doing comparisons between the Super Speed Cine lenses with Contax Zeiss, old 70s still photography lenses. And the reason why they were doing comparisons is not only obviously manufactured by the same company, which is Zeiss, but also it turns out that the optics and the coatings used for these lenses were the same as the Super Speed Mark III lenses. So I was taken back by that, and I saw a couple of videos where people were showing the quality off, and I was like, yeah, fuck it, let's just get these lenses in my bag. They are not expensive if you get the 2.8 versions, which I have. There's a couple of versions of Contax Zeiss. There's the AE variety of these Contax Zeiss lenses. So if there's an AE, it means it's an older version of the lens. The MMs are the later version of the lens. The coatings are supposedly better. You get reduced flaring with the later lenses than you do with these AE lenses. Also, you'll notice either a G or a J. The G would be Germany, so if it was AEG, would be the first edition of the lens, which is made in Germany, and if it was AEJ, it would be the first edition of the lens was made in Japan. So this was made in Germany, so the AEG, so you can see made in Germany there. You're not going to see it on this, but it's there. And also you'll know if the lower f-stop is white, then this is the early edition. If it's green, it's the MM, the later edition. So I picked up the 25mm and the 50mm. So I've got the 25mm f2.8 to Stagen. I put a focus ring on there. I've changed the filter thread at the front. And I also bought the 50mm f1.7 planner, which is a very nice lens. I've adapted them with this, if I can get it off, can I get it off? Oh, I can bother getting off. This really good, really well made adapter. So this is CY to EF adapter. CY being Contax and Yashica. Zeiss went into business with Yashica to manufacture these lenses, hence why some are made in Japan and some are made in Germany. Some people have speculated that the ones in Japan are not as good as the ones in Germany, but there's a lot of people I've seen, a lot of things I've read that people have done tests, and they both companies had a very strict quality control optically, regardless of A or G. They should be fine, exactly the same. So pricing wise, I picked up the 25mm f2.8 to Stagen for about £200 off eBay. It came to me in really good condition. Very happy with that lens. 25 is a nice focal length. On a Mark IV third, you're talking about 50, which is fine. Wide open, it's sharp in the center, so that's pretty good. Contrast seems nice. Both lenses perform reasonably well wide open, and that's when you're really going to know if a lens is any good. It's how it performs wide open. and both lenses do perform well. Obviously, as you stop down, it gets better, it gets a lot sharper. I've done some tests to show this, so I'll throw some up for you. The focus throw is about 80 degrees. It's not a long throw, so you know, rack and focus, you can do it obviously, but you haven't got that room to really nail in focus. I've been out with them, I've shot some stuff. Overall very happy, quite pleased with what I'm getting from the lenses. They're not the best, and I think I'll probably buy a few more focal lengths for the Contax Zeiss, possibly the 85mm and maybe a 35mm as well, just to complete that little collection. I mean, going forward, I like to get more expensive Cine lenses. With the more expensive Cine lenses, the housing is already there, it's unified, so it won't take too much time swapping lenses in and out during a production. Also, a lot of things like chromatic aberration, very little there. Focus breathing with these aren't too bad, but obviously with a better quality Cine lens, you're going to get better focus breathing, things like that. So, you know, but as a set, a cool set to have in your bag. So if you're into vintage lenses, these are definitely up there with some of the best. And if you've got some money to throw into a vintage lens kit, then absolutely look at the Contax Zeiss lenses. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and any comments, then leave them down below in the comment section. All right, that's it from me, and I'll see you next week.